go with Jack.
Oh, yeah, Jeff.
Anything, but.
Since I'm organizer, I'll just work that way.
There you go. You got something
All right, I get to follow Chris
Yeah.
and talk about proxies. You know, if I pull this off, it'd be the greatest speech that I've ever done. And if you are awake after all this, I will have accomplished my mission and performed a miracle. But I was thinking, Chris brought up some great points about the DCP plan for the clubs. And is everyone striving to become a distinguished club?
Yes.
Is everyone striving to get more than 5 goals, which is distinguished club?
Yes.
Are you going for 10 out of 10?
Yes.
Okay, 10 out of 10, President's Distinguished. Let's give that a name. Let's call it the gold standard. How about that? One of the cards I had in my packet was a king. Do you want to be the king club of Division F in District 48? That is what the gold standard is. And I'm not making this up. This is what Kathy Furbish is preaching this year as district governor, is the gold standard. The gold standard consists of 3 things. 100% of clubs paid, 100% of officers trained, and 100% of proxies returned for the district business meeting and the international conference. So you're probably wondering where proxies would fit into this situation. But proxies are important because your club and you as an individual club are not alone. You're part of a club, which is part of an area, which is part of a division, which is part of a district, which is part of international in every country in the world. And there's business that takes place at the district level and at the international level. And that's where the proxies come in. Coming up on May 3rd through 5th, how many people are planning on going to the district conference?
Where is it?
Oh, it's up in Tampa, Tampa Airport Marriott. Great hotel. There's going to be a business meeting to realign clubs and to elect new officers for next year. But in order for that meeting, decisions in that meeting to be valid, it needs a quorum of votes. And a quorum is 1/3 of club officers, 1/3 of clubs represented at the business meeting. 2 people have votes, the club president and the club vice president of education, automatically. If both those individuals come to the business meeting, they can vote, the club is represented. What will happen is they will check in at the credentials table and they will get a ballot such as this. You all have it in your packet. If the president or vice president of education cannot make it, they can sign a proxy, which I don't have a copy of, but a proxy that appoints an active club member. So if you're in Collier Communique and I can't make it as president, I can appoint Rich DeVoe if he was going to the conference as a proxy for me to vote. So that's where the proxy comes in. If you, as an officer, cannot make it, the proxy appoints someone to vote for you, which gives representation at the business meeting to meet the quorum. And that is so important because if the quorum isn't met, decisions could be made, but it's a much lengthier process to have the formal approval of any actions at that meeting. Now, if I show up at the meeting as the president and none of the other officers show up, and no proxies are issued, say by the VP Education, I can get the vote of the VP Education, and I could submit 2 votes, being that's part of the club. So that's the importance right there. That's part of the gold standard. That's part of participating in something bigger than just your club. Let's talk about international. In the International Convention, which is held in August each year, there's also a business meeting. Each club gets 1 vote. There is a quorum also for that meeting. And in advance, 3 or 4 months in advance, the club president and the club secretary will receive an email with a link to give a proxy if you cannot make the meeting. You can choose, if you know there's someone from your club that's attending the international conference and going to the business meeting, you can appoint that person as a proxy. But if no one from your club is going, you can appoint the district governor as your proxy and as your vote. And that will go towards meeting the quorum. So that, in effect, is the importance of the proxies. Business would not get done in the organization if you didn't show up or you didn't give someone the authority to vote for you. And how many of us get proxies? I've already gotten a proxy for my homeowners association meeting. All right, and a proxy for the stock, Edison stock that I own 5 shares of. Who knows how much they spent on the postage for that? But we all get those proxies. They all matter. They're all important. I have no card tricks. I have no poker chips to give. So strive to be the best. Strive for the gold standard. Strive for 10 out of 10 golds. And it's amazing how much. Yes?
Real quick,
Yeah.
so what you're saying, the international, the president, secretary, and you get 1 vote.
They both receive the email that says fill out the proxy, and if someone from the club cannot make it, and the president can't make it, or the secretary, or anyone from that club, then you can assign the proxy to the district governor.
But it's 1 vote. So
It's
you
1
know-
vote only.
And then the district is president, VP of Ed, and it's 2 votes that we get at district
Yes,
for each club.
yes.
Okay.
And the quorum is 1/3 of clubs represented
For both.
for combined. So if 1/3 of all presidents make it, then it's a quorum. So it's 1/3 of all clubs represented.
So they physically have to just be represented with the proxy.
Exactly, one of the 2.
Okay.
Proxy represents a person. Any other questions, Juan?
How does the proxy for the district conference, you said you get an email for international, the district, you get an email that's on the website, or how do you get that?
It's something, if it's up last time, it's on the website, and you're also going to receive an email saying go to the website, fill the proxy out. And when you go to the credentials desk, you bring that proxy with you. Let's say that you're not an officer of a club, or you're not the president or VPE, and the president says, well, Stephen, can you go in my place? He'll assign the proxy to you. You bring that proxy, the paper copy of the proxy to the credentials desk, and then you will get one of the ballots to actually vote. I don't know what else to say about proxies. I have no tricks. Strive to be the best.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
It was an entertaining speech also. I don't care what Chris says. Nydia, our tech guru, is going to walk us